you can do it by hand, but you don't have to, because it will just take a lot of time. Because in future you will need this excessively, so you can either use online calculator, or you can use, scientific calculators which you have. You can search on YouTube, polar to rectangular conversion using scientific calculator. If you have that hand calculator, I don't know if people use, or on phone you are using, but we used to use these calculators for this kind of stuff.
Welcome everybody to PACE Academy.
So you can use this kind of calculator if you want. If not, then I will just suggest use online calculator. Both of that works. Since you will be studying online, I guess using online also is fine. But definitely you need that, because otherwise you will take forever to finish your exam, because there will be a lot of calculation. Okay, so we remember A and B waves from last time. I'm just writing it again. A1 is incident wave, B1 is the reflected wave at port 1. Similarly, A2 is incident wave, wave at port 2, and B2 is the reflected wave at port 2. Okay, so I am defining, basically I'm defining the so this point here, let's say this is my port 1 or 1 dash, sorry, not 1, and this point here is port 1. Similarly, this point here is port 2, and this point here is port 2 dash. The length of this transmission line, this is x equal to 0, and this is x is equal to lambda by 8. Okay. Similarly, at port 2, this x2 is equal to 0. Oh, sorry, x2 is equal to lambda by 8. And here it is equal to 0. Okay. So this is it. And then apart from this, the impedance looking here is what? Let me use another color. This is Z in 0. Okay. And so as of now, Z, you know these things. So you know, and also, yeah, characteristic impedance. So Z naught is 50 ohms for these lines. You know, for this line, this line, this line, and this line. You know the Z naught of the line, which is the characteristic impedance of the line. So here is the question. First, find what is Z in 0. Second, these are the type of problems which might come in exam, so just try to follow. I will just play around with some, stuff here, but here or there, I will think what I have to give an exam, but it will be on similar pattern. Find B10, A and B waves at port 1 at x equal to 0, then find A1 at lambda by 8, then B1 at lambda by 8, then calculate third. Once you have A and B waves, next step is what? Voltages. V10, V1 lambda by 8, I10, I1 lambda by 8. Okay, these are three things. Then power. We studied power, so you have to calculate input power at x1 equal to 0 and x1 is equal to lambda by 8. Okay, then once you know these things, then you will have to calculate VSWR at input and at output both. Okay, so let's do first 5 of these and then we will move ahead. So let's see who can answer first question. How will we calculate Z in? So can someone tell me how to calculate Z in 0? Any idea? This is very simple. I mean, if you guys don't know this, then there is no point of having today's class. We should go back and redo what we studied so far. So let me go back to the lecture slides. So if you guys remember, we did talk about Z in. Let me go. Actually, I created a cheat sheet for you guys, which might help you for the 5th lecture. So I just created a summary of first 3 lectures. So you see, here is the formula for Z in, right? So let's use that and try to calculate the problem we are solving. So let me write first for the first question. Oops. Okay. So first part. So Z in 0 is equal to Z0 times ZL plus ZL plus JZ0 tan beta L over Z0 plus JZL tan beta L. ठीक है, ये फॉर्मूला हमने पहले we have studied it many times. Okay, so now it's simple. Z0 we know is 50 ohms. What is your ZL? In this case, sorry, I forgot to give you one more thing, that you need to know what is the impedance. So this is what you want. You will need the impedance looking in this direction, which is actually given by 50 plus J50. This is given. So your ZL in this case is 50 plus J50 plus your J times Z0 is 50 and beta L. What will be beta L? Beta is 2 pi by lambda into your length is what of this line? Lambda by 8. So this goes away. This becomes lambda by 4. So 10 lambda by 4. Lambda by 4 is what? 45 degrees over same thing, 50 plus J times 50 plus J50, right, times 1045. So 1045 is 1, and so this becomes 150 J50 100, J square 50 gets cancelled, and this becomes 50 times 50 plus J50. So this will be 100 minus J50 ohms. So this will be your Z in looking into this direction here, because you know the length of the line, so you will be able to calculate your Z in. And since this line is lossless, so Z in at 0 will be equal to Z in at D. So this and this will be basically equal to Z in at lambda by 8. Okay. Now we know what the voltage is, right? So at x1 equal to 0, voltage is known. Voltage will be what? So if I can write, so for second part, my voltage is given by V10 is equal to, so V1 is your voltage across this, right? Across either. Okay, so if you have to calculate voltage there, then it will be what? It will be 10 angle 0 minus, we know the value of this R, 50 ohms, 50 times whatever the current is, I10. So this will be my voltage. If you remember last class also, when we were calculating A and B waves, we calculated it. So हमको ये E we know, and you know, because it's just in series, so the voltage can be computed as E1 angle 0 minus 50 times I1 naught. Okay. So now what we have to calculate A1 0. So we did do A1 0 last lecture, which is given by the formula here. So A1 0 is given by this 1 over 2 under root Z naught times V1 0 plus Z naught I1 0. So it will be nothing but 1 over 2 under root 50 10 minus 50J plus 50 I1 zeros plus 50 I1. This and this will cancel out basically. So 1 by root 2. You just have to use the A1 0 formula here. So this you know. Now you know the length. So you know the beta L. So A1 lambda by 8 will be what? A1 lambda by 8 is A1 0 e to the power minus J beta L, which is J pi by 4. So you can calculate this. So this will be 1 by root 2. So e to the power J theta is cos theta plus J sin theta. So you will have to expand this. So you will have to write it in form of cos pi by 4 plus J sin pi by 4. Sorry, pi by 4 e to the power J. So this will be minus because it's minus sign. So this, you know, cos, you can substitute it, and this is rectangular again. So always try to convert your answer into polar form because it's very easy to then calculate. So for this, it will be 1 by root 2 minus 45 degrees. You can calculate this. It's very straightforward. There is no what to call, no rocket science in this. Just go online and use the calculator. Let me move this. Is it clear so far? I mean, if you guys have any questions, please, because it's so hard to know whether you are understanding or not. So if you are not understanding, please let me know now. Otherwise, oh man, how to move this? Okay. Let's go again. So we calculated A1 0, we calculated A1 lambda by 8. Similarly, we can calculate B1 0. B1 0 is given by 1 over 2 under root Z naught. V1 0 minus Z naught I1 0. And this we discussed last time in the class, is just coming from here. Okay. And same thing here, you know what is your V1 0, you can substitute this, you know I1 0, so this will be given by so how much it will be, 1 over 2 under root 50. So V1 0 is 10 angle 0 degrees minus 50 times I1 0, and this is 50, so this will become what, 10, because V1 0 we know, 10 minus 2 times 50 times I1 0. So now you need to calculate what is I1 0. I1 0 is the current flowing at x equal to 1. So that will be what? Simply I1 0 will be E1 over 50 plus Z in, which we calculated at 0. 50 is the series resistance and Z in we calculated here. So this will be your I1 0. So with this, you can basically calculate how much your current will be and then substitute it back here. Again, explaining you again how to do polar to rectangle thing. This is 10. This is 50 plus Z in 0. How much we calculated? 100 minus J50. Okay. So this is 10 over 150 minus J50. Okay. So best thing now how to solve this is 10 over 150 minus J50. So we will first convert this rectangular into polar. So how much is the real part? 150. And how much is the imaginary part? Minus 50. So if I calculate this, where does it go? Oh, it's here. So, you know, it shows you what will be the angle and what will be the degree. Okay. So this is what is equal to 10 over oh my god, this doesn't work. This is 10 over 158 angle 341. 158 angle 341. So now you can just solve it directly. It's 10 divided by 158 will be how much? 10 divided by 158. This is 0.063 and this is 341. So if you bring it up, it will be minus 341 or 360 minus 41 is the same thing. So this will be like minus 341, or you can write it 0.063 angle 19 degrees. So that's how you do rectangular to polar. It just makes it so easy to solve. Otherwise, I will have to rationalize it. Then I will have to solve it. So it's always good to keep everything in r angle theta, because if it is like r angle theta, you know, and you have r1 and then you have r1 over theta 2. So you can just pretty much solve them directly. Like you can, you know, you can divide them, you can rationalize them, and you can just subtract the angles out of it. So it becomes easier just to calculate values if you use this way. So we calculated Zn so far, A1, B1, 0, A1 lambda by 2, we know how much it will be. And similarly, B1 lambda by 2, we know it's just B1, 0, e to the power j pi by 4. And again, going back, we discussed this thing. Where is it? We discussed this thing, you know, how you calculate A and B waves in the lecture, and basically the wave at x equal to 0 and wave at x equal to lambda by 4. I think it was in next slide. I should have uploaded these slides. I forgot to do it over weekend. Okay, I will do it after this class. So now next is V1 0. How much will be the how much will be the V1 0? We know. So it didn't ask us to calculate A20. What will be A20? Can somebody tell what is A20? Again, because this port is matched to 50 ohms, so A20 will be 0. And we can now calculate, basically, we have calculated this V10, I10 we already calculated here. Okay. And now let's try to calculate what will be the value of S11. Okay. So here, if you have to calculate S11, you need this impedance. So you need, if you know this impedance, S11 is nothing but whatever your this impedance is, say it's ZT minus 50 over ZT plus 50. So that way you can calculate what is the S11 here. And because why I'm asking it, because for B1 lambda by 8, you know, you can calculate A1 lambda by 8 is straightforward, and B1 lambda by 8 you can calculate two ways. B1 lambda by 8 is equal to B1 0 e to the power j theta, which is j pi by 4. Or how you can calculate, we also know that S11 is equal to B1 over A1. So B1 over lambda by 8 or A1 lambda by 8. So अगर तुमको S11 पता है, if you guys know S11, then you just multiply it with A1, which you already calculated. Then that's an alternate way to get B1 lambda by 8. Okay. So that way you can get basically your what you called V1 lambda by 8. Similarly for voltage, again V10 we have already calculated. You have to calculate V1 lambda by 8, and for calculating, maybe I need to write it down. Shoot. And this is not easy to use. So, okay. So let's calculate first V10. So 1 and 2 are done. Any question regarding 1 and 2 part? You got how to calculate Z10, A10, B10, A1 lambda by 8, B1 lambda by 8. Just try to digest it once, and then we can move ahead. Oops. If you have questions, please ask now. No question? Okay, good.
सर ये Z-in में हम 50 ओम कंसीडर करेंगे क्या? ये वाला जो सोर्स के पास जो सोर्स रेजिस्टेंस है,
तो Z-in जो है ना, Z-in is, देखो, I should have drawn it properly. So this was your transmission line. Okay, this is your 2-port network. This is another transmission line. Resistor is here. So Z-in is looking here. And ZL or ZT is looking here. Okay, तो जब Z-in हम calculate कर रहे हैं, तो that is the impedance looking in this direction. तो that resistor is not calculated. So ZL you know is this impedance, which is 50 plus J50 in this case. And then that's it. And the Z0 of the line you know is 50 ohms. So Z-in, when you are calculating, you don't have to consider this resistance, but this resistance will be used when we will calculate voltage and currents. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Got it. Okay. So now again, coming back, how to calculate B10. तो voltage है V1. So V10 is what? You know your voltage. जो E1 source है वो हमको पता है, over Z-in 0 plus that resistance 50 ohms. Okay, this is what? Current times V10 is across your Z-in 0. तो voltage divider लगाया मैंने यहाँ. तो V-in is the voltage here. V10 इसके across. So it's, everyone understood that, right? E1 over Z-in 0 plus 50 is the current. Basically that's nothing but I10 multiplied by Z-in 0. That will give you voltage. तो उससे तुम्हारा V10 आ जाएगा. Okay. Another way to calculate V10 in terms of A and B is also given by V10 is equal to square root Z0 times A10 plus B10. क्योंकि voltage क्या है? Voltage is sum of both incident wave and reflected wave. ठीक है? And because it's wave and you have to convert it into voltage, you multiply with this normalization factor Z0. ठीक है? Similarly, now if you have to calculate V1 at lambda by 8, which means here, इधर क्या होगी voltage? So V1 at lambda by 8, you can calculate directly if you know V10, that V1 lambda by 8 is equal to V10 times यही same इधर Z0 A1 lambda by 8 plus B1 lambda by 8. A1 lambda by 8 you calculated from here, B1 lambda by 8 you calculated, and then you can right away calculate V1 lambda by 8. And now it asks you for I1 lambda by 8, that will be V1 lambda by 8 divided by whatever the impedance here is, ZL 50 plus J50. Did you guys understood, or shall I write everything properly, like step by step, then only you will understand? Any doubts, questions, please ask now, because I will be giving a full assignment on this and you guys might get stuck there. I will try to add all the formulas in slides if needed. I mean, most of them I have covered, but if needed, I will write it and then you guys can take it from there. So let me rub this. Okay. So how we will calculate input power? We discussed last time P in 0 is half of the real part of, okay, so P1 at 0 is equal to what? Half real V into I conjugate V1 0 into I conjugate 0. ये power है, V times I over 2, right? So V1 0 we calculated, I1 0 we calculated. So you basically just substitute here and you will know P1 0. Again, you know, तुमको problem क्या आएगा? जैसे for example, how much was V1 0 in this case? I guess it was, let me see. So V1 0 was from the calculation was 7 angle minus 8 degrees, and I1 0 was 0.063 angle minus 18.5 degrees. तो अब जब power calculate करना ना, that is half into, you just multiply these two things, 7 times that, whatever it is, 7 times 0.063, और जो तुम्हारा total angle है ना, that will be minus 8, and this is conjugate, so this will become plus 18. तो दोनों को तुम add कर दोगे, times this will becomes plus 18.5. So how to solve it is simple, 7 times this over 2, or this angle, you should know this angle. Basically whatever your effective angle will be. So 7 into 0.063 and this becomes 10.5. So let's calculate it just to make sure that 10 into 0.063. So this is what this is. Oh, shoot, man. Yeah. Okay, so this becomes 0.4 angle 10 degrees. Half. So half becomes 0.2. So real part of this. So again, how will you calculate the real part of it? It will be, you know, basically this is the real part pretty much, because this gets multiplied cos of this and sine of this. So the answer for this will be 0.2 watt. But if you are doing, remember, you know, polar to rectangular conversion, if you don't do it, you will screw it up and you will have wrong answers. Similarly, if you have to calculate power at lambda by 8, it's half times real of voltage at lambda by 8 times current at lambda by 8. So you know V1 lambda by 8, you know I1 lambda by 8, just put it. And if the power, so since the line is lossless, what do you expect? So if the line is lossless, your expectation is that your P1 at lambda equal to 8 should be equal to P1 0, right? Because agar dono equal aa gaye, so that will prove that your line is lossless. Oh, yeah. I told you earlier also line is lossless, but that will verify you that. Okay. Now that you know, and also what is the average power available, because there are two powers, the power which is available from the source power which is here. So the power which is available at the source is basically given by half. We did discuss this, A1 square. This is the power available at the source, PAVG. Okay. Now, so far we have calculated all voltages, all power waves, and everything. So now, say for example, I tell you, if you don't understand, we can go over this problem again later, once you guys look at the lecture notes, because it's just hard to write it like this, on board. It's relatively easier. So let me, okay. Yeah. So now let's say I gave you S parameters at port 1. You remember last time we talked about de-embedding of S parameters, right? So say if I gave you S11 at lambda by 8, so I'm giving you here, okay? I gave you S11 is equal to 0.44 angle 63 degrees. S12 is equal to 0.01 angle 40 degrees. S21 is 5 times angle 135 degrees. And S22 is equal to 0.6 angle 40 degrees. I have given you S parameters now at this port 1. Okay. So, and the question is, can you calculate power deliver to the load? And in this case, your load is Z2, like the power delivered to the load Z2. How much will be the power delivered to Z2? So that's the main question. So in this case, how will you approach this problem? So even before that, how about I ask you to calculate S11 at x equal to 0 and S11 at x equal to lambda by 8. So S11 at x equal to 0, if you remember, will be what? Will be, you can calculate it very easily, basically. So S11 at lambda by 8 and at S11 at x1 equal to 0, right? So I can calculate first S11. So this port 1 dash is x equal to 0, right? So ye kya hoga? This is nothing but Z in 0 minus Z0 over Z in 0 plus Z0. Okay, and remember, this is at 1 dash. So this technically, this is S11 dash. This is not S11. And when you say x equal to 0, that is S11. And we did talk about how to convert this, right? How to convert, if you know S1 dash, how you can calculate S11. So if you want to calculate S11 at lambda by 8, that is nothing but S11 dash e to the power j2 theta 1, j times 2, theta is beta L, right? Theta, just e to the power j theta 1. So you can calculate, basically theta in this case was 45 degrees, correct? So beta L will be what? Beta times 2 pi by lambda, or beta is equal to 2 pi by lambda. So theta L is, sorry, electrical length is beta L. So theta is equal to beta L. So which is equal to 2 pi by lambda into your length is lambda by 8. So this is nothing but pi by 4. तो तुम लोग उसको यहाँ पे substitute कर सकते हो. So this will be S11 dash e to the power j 90 degrees, j pi by 2. So you know S11 at lambda by 8. Okay. So yeah, remember this is port 1 dash, and S11 you can calculate by external internal port thing we discussed last time. Now it asks you for VSWR. So VSWR is what? VSWR is nothing but 1 plus magnitude of S11 over 1 minus S11. Or S11, you guys know, you already calculated it. So you can pretty much just substitute it and you will have the answer. Now, what I was saying is, you say you have all these S parameters. Okay. I gave you S parameters at this port, at port 1, not at 1 dash, at port 1. And I am asking you, okay, you have all this, these S parameters. Calculate what will be the power delivered to the load Z2. Okay. So in that case, what we will do, you know your S parameters. So what is the ultimate goal? Ultimate goal is to calculate power at port 2. So power at that port 2, okay, is given by half times magnitude of B2 0 whole square. है ना? क्योंकि output पर B2 is the wave which is coming in the direction, A2 is the wave going in that direction. Now the question is how to calculate B2 0 here. Like input पे तो हमने कर लिया था. So we have to basically calculate B2 0 at the output. And then that B2, are you guys following me? Let me just draw it because I guess you guys might lose this. Shoot. Okay, so let me show again. Either transmission line, then you have another line. Okay, so output पे क्या होता है? Output पे the wave going in this direction is A2, wave coming in this direction is B2. So power which is going to this load is nothing but half B2 x equal to, क्योंकि इधर x equal to 0 होता है, इधर x equal to 8 होता है, or whatever, lambda by 8. Similarly, but at input it's opposite, right? At input x equal to 0 इधर है, x equal to lambda by 8 इधर है. So you need to now calculate B2 at x equal to 0. So for calculating that, can somebody guess how we can calculate that? Because problem is either we need to know what is B2 here first. Na? So B2 at lambda by 8 we can calculate, but problem is everything we know is A1, B1, A10, B10, A2, A1 lambda by 8, B1 lambda by 8. We don't know anything related to B2. So if we go back to the slides, right? We did discuss that S parameter of a given port are given by these expressions. This one. So if you see S2 relates output B2 wave with input A1 wave. So technically what I can do, I can write S21 as B2 lambda by 8 over A1 lambda by 8. And A1 lambda by 8 we already calculated. A1 lambda by 8 is nothing but A10 times e to the power j beta L. So you know A1, you know S21 from here. So if you know A1, S21, you can calculate what will be your B2 lambda by 8. Once you have B2 lambda by 8, then you can calculate B2 0, which is B2 lambda by 8 times e to the power minus j theta. Bas. Usse tumhare ko B2 mil gaya, put B2 back here and you will get what will be the power to the load. So the point is, it's kind of complex, yeah, right? One problem will take you to solve time because you will be asked to solve many things. So we are almost 40 minutes, but these are big problems. So to revise again, right? What we have talked about, right? Let's do a revision so that you guys don't forget. Did you guys follow at all, or you didn't follow anything? Tell me that first, because if you didn't follow anything, we can go over part of it again. But if you have followed it, then it's okay. anyone who hasn't followed this thing, don't be shy. If you haven't understood, it's okay. We can understand, try to understand it again. But if you will be shy, then we won't be able to move forward, right? Because then you won't understand what's happening when we go to today's lecture, because from here complex stuff will start. So I want to make sure you are understanding things. Any questions? Everything clear? Hello? Daksh, is it clear?
Yes, sir. I followed.
Okay, good, great. So just to revise again, I'm again just repeating, so for the sake of everyone, you know. So this, we had a line, and then you have this 2 port, Hana? Then you have this port, then you have a load, you have another line here, you have a source, you have another line here. This is 2-port network. Okay, we know what all we know. We know E1, we know this 50 ohms, we know this 50 ohms. Then we know length of this line is lambda by 8, na? Or what we wanted to calculate, the impedance looking here, and we are also given this impedance ZL, which is 50 plus J50. ZL, or you can say ZT, because ZL is usually load. Okay, so again, remember, A1 wave will go here, so you will have A10 here, and you will have A1 lambda by 8. Then reflected wave will be there, so you will have B1 lambda by 8, and you will have B10. Okay, similarly here, A goes like this, B wave comes here, so this is B20, this is B2 lambda by 8, and similarly you have A2 lambda by 8 and A20. Using S parameters, you can relate output wave by input wave. For example, S21 is equal to B2 over A1. Okay, so we calculated all these parameters. Apart from these parameters, we calculated what is V10. So V10 is the voltage across this. Okay, so we know that is nothing but E1. We calculated what is E1, right? And then sorry, this is not V10. I will rather should say it V in 0. Okay, so we did calculate this I1, and we calculated what is my V10. So V10 was what? E1 times Z in 0 over this 50 ohms times I10. And I1 we know is just this E1 over, what was I1 was E1 over total impedance Z in 0 plus 50. ठीक है, तो हमने V10 calculate करा, I10 calculate करा, AI, all those we calculated, which were kind of very straightforward. The relation between, again, see at the input, right? B1 lambda by 8 is given by B10 e to the power j theta. Okay, because yeah, it's in this direction. Output पर अलग हो जाता है. If at output you have to calculate what you call B wave, which is B2 wave, then it's basically will be given by e to the power like B20 was B2 lambda by 8 times e to the power minus j theta. I'm just, because B2 is here, just reference planes have shifted, right? तो ये कैलकुलेट करा, B1 करा, B2 किया, I1 किया, V1 किया. You can calculate S11, which is straightforward here, which is Z in 0 minus Z0 over Z in 0 plus Z0, because this will give you how much will be the reflection. Once you know reflection, then you can calculate reflection coefficient. What will be the reflection coefficient? And you can also calculate VSWR. So with this, and of course, we also talked about power, P1 at x equal to 0, x equal to lambda by 8. And we also calculated power delivered to the load, by using S parameter. Because once you know S parameter, then you can calculate the relation between input and output. So this is basically what we read and did so far. And also, because we have this port, this is 1 dash, this is 1. So we also calculated S parameters at port 1 dash and used it to calculate S parameters at port 1. We know this relationship from last lecture. Any doubts, any questions? Last time I'm asking. If not, then we will move ahead. Okay. So let me just rub this. I don't think we need that. So now let's go to the next lecture. So today's lecture is for how many hours? 2 hours, right? Is it 2 hours?
Sir, it's a 1 hour lecture, I guess.
And then lab is also there, right?
Let me check, sir. Yes, sir, there's a 2 hour lab.
Total of 3 hours.
Yeah, so we have time, right? So let's keep going. Let's try to cover more stuff. And I emailed you guys to print out Smith chart. Everyone has Smith chart or no? Because if it is not there, then there is no point of me doing that. Then you guys might have to follow me. Did anyone actually printed Smith chart or no?
Sir, I have bought.
Okay. Did you print the one I sent or what?
Yes, the one which you have sent.
Okay. What about rest, folks?
So I have it as well.
Okay. So maybe I will explain you why we need it in this lecture. Maybe that can motivate you to bring it in the next lecture. Because what I will do in next lecture is that I might use software as well. But before moving to software, I want to make sure you guys understand Smith chart, in your hand. Smith chart is the most powerful tool. Anything in RF, you cannot do it. You cannot do basically anything in RF without Smith chart. So today's lecture will be focused on the Smith chart thing, as I mentioned. So let's go through summary again. I just put this so that you guys can keep revising. We started with voltage, current on a given line. From that we can calculate characteristic impedance of a transmission line. If there is a loss, then your voltage and current can be written as a function of gamma. Gamma is alpha plus j beta. Alpha is the attenuation constant. If the line is lossless, alpha is equal to 0. Phase velocity concept we did, and then we know electrical length of a wire. We can calculate reflection coefficient. Reflection coefficient can also be calculated from S11. S11 can be calculated in terms of Z11, and then we have transmission line equation. So all these I have kind of summarized here. You have transmission lines equation. Once you know that, then reflection coefficient. Reflection coefficient is Z minus Z naught over Z plus Z naught. Once you know reflection coefficient, then VSWR and vice versa. Similarly, you can calculate S parameters using waves, reflected wave and incident wave. Depending on incident and reflected wave, you have S parameters, S11, S21, S22, S12. And also given the length of a line, you can calculate what will be short line, what will be open circuit line, what will be quarter wave line, and depending on those length, the transmission line have different functions. So now comes the beast, Smith chart. So Smith chart basically is is like a chart in RF. You guys have studied Smith chart at all or no? like in previous lectures?
No, sir.
Okay. So Smith chart is a very fundamental thing. I did show you earlier in software once when I was showing it, but it's a very fundamental thing. And the idea is Smith chart is used for multiple purposes. The first purpose is representation of an impedance. Second purpose is once you know the impedance, you need to match impedance. What do you mean match impedance? That in a given system, say your load is 50 ohms, right? But as I mentioned, you might be seeing a different impedance, like say 50 plus J50. So if you don't match 50 plus J50 with 50 ohm impedance, you will lose power. So you need to have a circuit which can map one given impedance to 50 ohms. So now to know what that network will be, that network can be a capacitor, a combination of capacitor and inductor, can be a transmission line, can be a combination of transmission line, can be a stub, which we will study in future, can be a resistor. But how do we know what component we should choose to match two impedances? That's what Smith chart tells us. That's what is the power of Smith chart. So if you have an impedance is given by R plus JX. Okay. Now, say you had 50 plus J50. That is your absolute impedance. There is something called as characteristic impedance, which is given by Z0. So you can normalize your given impedance, which is R plus JX. You can normalize it with Z0 or 50 ohms. So if you have a 50 plus J50 impedance, you normalize it with 50 ohms. So your impedance becomes 1 plus J1, normalized impedance. Okay. Now we know this normal. So when we write capital Z, that is the actual impedance. When we write small z, that is the normalized impedance. Okay. So once you know the normalized impedance, you can calculate basically small z from reflection coefficient as well, or you can calculate reflection coefficient from small z. So what is impedance? Impedance is usually basically impedance is a complex number. Okay. So the reflection coefficient will also be a complex number. So say you have reflection coefficient is given by u plus jv. Okay. Now if you use this gamma, what you can do is you can basically try to substitute this back to calculate what the impedance will be. And when you try to do that, you will get two terms. Let me go to the next thing. When you try to calculate that impedance, just substitute this here and then rationalize it. Just multiply with u minus jv and u plus jv. And then you can equate that, because that is what z, and then you can equate that with r plus jx. So when you equate that with r plus jx, you get r something like this: 1 minus u square minus v square over 1 minus u ka whole square plus v square. You can rearrange this term: u minus r over 1 plus r ka whole square plus v square is equal to 1 over 1 plus r ka whole square. Similarly, you can get an x term. So r is the real part, x is the imaginary part. So x is given by 2v over 1 minus u whole square plus v square, and you can rearrange it here. Now, just 1 second. Now, if you see this clearly, you know, this is what x square plus y square is equal to a square. I don't know if you guys remember, but we did study this thing in maths, I think in grade 12. This becomes equation of a circle. Okay. So these are the equation of a circle in xy or uv plane, whatever you want to call it. I didn't use x here because x is used by there for r plus jx. So again, going back, simple, you know, you can calculate gamma. Your gamma is u plus jv. You just substitute it back here. Using that, you can find what is your r, what is your x. Once you know your r and x, you can just rearrange them and convert them into a form of equivalent circuit equation so that you can compare. And once you have the circles equation, then you can plot circles, right? So for example, r let me take r is equal to 0.25. Okay. then I can calculate, I can plot my circle for r equal to 2.5, r equal to 1, r equal to 1/3, and r equal to 0. Okay, so because for r equal to 0, it will be just u square plus v square equal to 1. So it will have the highest radius, in the sense that it will be the farthest one from the center. And of course, it will have a, if you know this, you know the center of the circle, and you also know the radius of the circle. Similarly, I can calculate, I can sweep x, and when I will sweep x, I will get imaginary circles, which means circles will be going like this, like this, and then this will be another big circle going like this, and then this will be x, for example, x equal to 1,3 is going like this. But what I'm plotting it from -1 to 1. That's what I'm sweeping the axis from, and for the different values of x. Now, once you basically combine these two things, which means sweeping the values on real axis and imaginary axis, you combine both of them together to form a Smith chart. So this is, maybe I should come back here after these two slides, because so you understand Z. So impedance Z will help you make these circles, and these circles basically are called constant resistance circle, which means they have constant impedance. So it's like R equal to whatever, R equal to 1, right? So this will be 50 ohm circle, because center is what? Center is 1 or 50 ohms. We'll come there. So this becomes resistance circle, constant resistance circle. This becomes constant admittance circle. Admittance is the reactance. So constant reactance circle, not admittance, sorry, constant reactance circle. Okay. Now similarly, I can maybe before we go to this example, similarly we have admittance. We can calculate admittance. 1 second to bring this up. So similarly, I can calculate y. Like how Z is there, Z is impedance, y is admittance. So y is given by y over y naught, as Z was given by Z over Z naught. But if you see the y is Z naught can be written, y naught can be written as 1 over Z naught. So you multiply. For admittance, you multiply. For impedance, you divide. Okay. Following the same principle, I can write these as a function, as the equations of circle. And when I do that, I can plot constant admittance Smith chart, which means here in previous one you were plotting constant resistance circle. Here you will plot constant conductance circle. So which means Z equal to 0, G equal to 1/3, G equal to 1, G equal to 2.5. Like if you check this, here it was R equal to 0, R equal to 1/3, R equal to 1, and R equal to 2.5. So this is constant resistance. But if it goes in this direction, like this, that becomes constant conductance circle. Okay. And similarly, now you have imaginary circles, but they are called as constant susceptance circle. Like how reactance is for impedance, susceptance is for admittance. So impedance, when you say Z, you have constant resistance circle and constant reactance circle. Now when you have Y, you have constant conductance circle because it's Y, and susceptance circle. So when you put these 4 things on one chart, that is called a Smith chart. Okay. So before going further, let's try to understand what the Smith chart is. So let me copy this into the whiteboard and we can zoom in there and I can write it and show you what's happening. Place image. Okay. K. Okay, so let's try to understand what we just said. Okay, so it's called ZY Smith chart. First of all, ZY. Okay, there are also only Z Smith chart, but I like having both of them together, and because we will be using both of the circles together. So Z, as I mentioned, has constant resistance circle and constant reactance circle. Okay, so if you see here, this point, let me zoom in more. Okay, this is good. So this point is the center. It says 1.0. Okay, everyone is able to see this 1.0. This is 1.0. If you open your Smith chart, you will see it clearly. So this is the center of Smith chart. Okay, center is 1. Okay, 1.0. So which means if my impedance is 50 ohms and I normalize it with another 50 ohms, that gives me 1. So this is basically impedance of 50 ohms. Okay, now let's see constant resistance circle. So if you see, this is the R equal to 1 circle. This is going all the way here. And then also going here. Okay. Similarly, so this is 1. Now this point, I guess, is 0. Sorry, So this point is 1.2. Okay. So 1.2, what means? If the impedance was 50 times 1.2, which is how much? 50 times 60 ohms. If the impedance was 60 ohms, this will be my impedance. And again, this is another constant R circle. It's going like this. Here it is going like this. The red one. Okay. So this is a constant R circle. Okay. Now, what about admittance? Now let's see if, so you see all of them will have markings. Okay, like how there are markings in the center. So now let's see, for example, one constant admittance circle. Maybe I will try to zoom in more. And I need to move this guy. Okay, read what are these, So on the top, there will be markings. Like you see, it says 0.25. Okay, this is 0.25. Okay, I will explain you what this is. Okay, but before we go there, these lines going like this, or something coming like this, and then say line going like this all the way. These are constant reactance circle. Okay, so if it is written 1.0 here, it means this is J50. Okay, which means your impedance was, if it is says J50, then you will divide it by 50 is J1. So J1 is J1 is normalized impedance. So I should write normalized as this. So now say you had a impedance which was 50 plus J50. So the normalized impedance will be 1 plus J1. Okay. So let's see how to mark 1 plus j1. So to mark 1 plus j1, it is constant resistance circle of z equal to 1 plus constant admittance circle of z equal to 1. तो ये तो हमको पता है, this circle is nothing but z equal to 1, and then constant admittance circle is coming from here, j1. So in दोनों का intersection will be my this impedance. So in this case, if I zoom in correctly, because this is going here and this is, so this impedance will be 1 plus j1. Is it clear or no? Hello? Are you guys following or no?
Yes, sir. Following. Clear.
Very good. That's why I asked you to have Smith chart, because then you can see in your Smith chart, it will be more clear, because if this is not very clear, then you can check in your Smith chart. Okay. So let me try to see if I can add another Smith chart here. Okay. Very good. Today's image. Okay. So again, going back, I told you how to mark it. Let's try to see, for example, let's try to mark 15 minus j25. Okay. So here j is equal to 15 minus 15 minus j25. So what will be the normalized impedance? Can someone divide by 50 and let me know what will be the value of 15 minus j25? Divide by 50. I get 510. Nobody is interested. Okay. So divide this by 50. So 0.3 minus j 0.5. Is that correct or no? 15 by 15.
Correct, sir.
Okay. So now let's do the same thing. So let's try to first search for z equal to 0.3. So constant r.3 circle. So if you zoom in, so this was 1. Always first mark 1. Okay, we know this is the center. This is 1. If you go in this direction, r increases, which means it will be 1.2, 1.3, and you will go towards open circuit. If you go in this direction, r decreases, which means you are going towards short, because that's how you plotted. When you plotted those circles, r equal to 0 was the outermost circle, and it was increasing in this direction. So r is equal to 0.3. So you see 0.1, this is 0.4, this is 0.5, this is 0.3. So I have to move on don't start moving on blue circles, because those are constant admittance circles. So you have to still move on the constant r circle. So for 0.3, so I know, let's mark my 0.3. So this will be my r is equal to 0.3. So 1, 0.9, 0.8, 0.7, 0.6, 0.5, 0.4, 0.3. And then I have what? Minus 0.5. So that's negative 0.5. So I will have to search where is minus 0.5. So search the red ones. So if you look carefully, this is, here is 1. Okay. And it's increasing here, 1.2. You have to check the red curves. 1.4. So if you move here, 0.9, 0.8, 0.7, 0.6, 0.5, this is your 0.4, 0.5. So this is your 0.5. Okay. So now let's see the red curve. So these are moving like this. So this one, let me go on this. So this is going like this. Okay. And I am on the constant R circle. So which means I have to move on this circle. Sorry. Shoot. This one. So this point should be 0.3 minus J 0.5. Okay. There's another easy way to figure it out, you know, whether it is right or not. That way is convert this. This is impedance. Okay. You can always convert an impedance into gamma. It's not rectangular to polar. Remember one thing. If you convert this into polar, that's not exactly ZL. That will be the polar ZL. So gamma, you can calculate the way you know gamma from Z to gamma calculation, how to calculate it. So it says 0.6 angle 124. So in a given Smith chart, 0.4 angle 124. So first of all, let's see angle. So this is 0 degree. This is 180 degree. Okay, this is 180. This side is 0 degree. This is 90. This is minus 90. Okay, so minus 124 will be, it's increasing this way, minus 90, or you can also call it minus 180. So 124 will be somewhere here. Okay, from the center 90. Technically you should put a what you call D, and you can calculate using the whatever you called, or you can actually read here minus 100, and I can't read it properly, but if you see, you might see the markings here of angles. So 124 will be somewhere in this direction roughly, right? And then it says angle, it says how much is the magnitude. The magnitude is 0.6. So now in Smith chart, there is something which you guys should check. You will see in your Smith charts, which will be, there will be a marking here. If you see here, this is the center. From center, you can put your compass, and this is the scale, and this is the reflection coefficient scale. So if you put at the center and you want what was it, 0.4. So you can just put your marker from 0.4 to 0.1, from here to here. That will be the total length of your compass, which you can open up. And when you use that on the Smith chart, you put it in the center, and this will be your length, basically. Whatever will be that, this will be your length, and you know the angle. So if you do that, by that way, you can actually calculate. You can actually calculate what impedance it will be. Like here it was 0.6 angle 124. Did you guys follow what I said just now, or no? First of all, if you don't have Smith chart, I guess you need to get one. Otherwise it will be so hard to follow. Mansa, are you able to understand it if you have Smith chart?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay, what about others? Who else has Smith chart? Daksh, are you able to follow it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. तो अभी मैं इसी में ना आपको एक ADS में better और better visual दिखाता हूँ, but I want you to practice on Smith charts, because that's the fundamental thing. If you can't practice on that, there's no point. Okay, so 1 second. Let me just open some workspace. Okay. Okay, so let's open Smith chart. You see how clean this is? It looks so nice. But those Smith charts, that other one was looking crowded. So now, so again, constant R, these are constant R circles, 1, 0.5, 0.2. So if I say 50 ohms, that's 1. Okay, if I say 0.5, that's 25 ohms. If I say 0.2, that's 0.25 times 50, 10 ohms. 10 ohms, 25 ohms, 50 ohms. And see how it's 5 here. So 5 times 250 ohms is this. Okay. And then if I, and then these are constant admittance circle, which is 1 means, again, J50. Okay. Then this 0.5 times 50 is 25, 0.2 times 50 is 10, and then 0 and so on. Okay. Then I put constant Y circles. So here, this is 50. Then it's 0.5 times 50, so 25 ohms. Then this 0.2 times. So Y increases here. So this is like maximum Y. Maximum Y means Z is 1 over Y. If Y is more, Z will be minimum. So Z will be short. If Y is more, Z will be less. Now, if I put both of them together, this is open circuit. This is short circuit. This is open circuit. So let's take the same example. What we had, 15 minus 25. Okay. So for 15 is what? 0.3. Okay. So this is 1. Let's see the blue one, right? Let's see the blue ones. So 0.3 will be somewhere here. Okay. And 15 is, this is on the, okay, on the upper side it's positive, it's inductive. The below side is negative. So if it is saying minus 0.5, so 0.5 is here, 0.3 will be somewhere here. So that impedance should come here. So let's try to put it. So the value was how much? 15 minus 25. 15 minus J times 25. So you see it reaches here. That's exactly where we plotted in the Smith chart. Let me open the red one also. So this was the impedance. Okay. Similarly, if it was 50 plus J50, then 50 is this, and this is Z equal to 1, the blue circle. So this will be my 50 plus J50. Let me take another example. Say 50 plus J75 or J100. So it will be 1 plus J2. Okay. So 50 will be this, and J equal to 1 is this. This is J.25. J equal to 2 will be somewhere here. So 50 plus J100 will be somewhere here. So let's see. 50 plus J100. You know, see, it's here. Okay. Similarly, my admittance. Okay. Another thing. Now say 50 plus J50. Okay. Now, if you see this, if you calculate gamma out of this, no, I'm not saying rectangular to polar. Gamma is what? Gamma is, if you know Z, can you calculate gamma? That's straightforward. You have to just use this formula. If you know Z and you have to calculate gamma, then gamma is given by ZL minus Z0 over ZL plus Z0. Okay. So yeah, I'm just trying to see if it is written here somewhere. Okay, yeah, I haven't shown. I guess this should be like gamma equal to yeah. So gamma is, let's take this example only, right? So this is 50 plus J50. So let's first calculate what will be the gamma. So gamma will be 50 plus J50 minus 50. Let me calculate here. So this is what, 50 plus J50. Okay. So I told you we can calculate gamma as ZL minus Z0. So minus Z0 over ZL plus Z0. Okay. So this will give you your gamma. So just solve for it. Actually, it should be ZL plus Z0 over ZL minus Z0. It should be plus. Yeah. So if you calculate it, you will get your gamma. And again, you have to calculate what you called rectangular into polar. So let me also, there is also and called calculator, impedance to gamma calculator. This one, first one. So here you have to specify impedance. So for example, impedance is 50 plus J50, and it will give you what will be the gamma of that impedance. Okay, it's just Z minus Z0 over Z plus Z0. वही था, हम सही कर रहे थे. Just calculate rectangle. So when you do that, you will get rectangular. Then rectangular has to be converted into polar, and that polar will be gamma. Don't confuse impedance into I should just do it, otherwise it might create confusion. Let me go back. How to get rid of this? I don't know where the menu has gone. Okay, I think it's too much zoomed in, maybe. Okay, whatever. So so for example, the impedance, the case we are seeing here is 50 plus J50. So what the heck is going on? Okay, it's back. So yeah. So for example, impedance is given by 50 plus J50. This is Z. Okay, now let's calculate gamma is equal to this minus Z0 over Z plus Z0. Okay. So this will be 50Z over 100 plus 50Z. Okay. So now I can divide by 100. So this is Z over 2 plus J, right? So I multiply it. Either I can multiply it. Yeah, I can do that. So this becomes what? 2J minus J square over A square minus B square. So 2J, J square is minus 1 plus 1 over 5. Please check if it is I'm doing something wrong, because I am super tired now and I'm feeling sleepy, so I might commit a mistake. So this is your gamma. So now let's convert rectangular. So from here we will convert rectangular to polar. So let's say 1 plus J2 का क्या होगा? Rectangular to polar, 1 plus J2. So that's 2.2463. Okay. 2.2463. So this will be 2 0.24 एंगल 63 डिवाइड बाय 5 है ना। तो इसको डिवाइड करोगे 2.24 को 5 से, सो दिस विल बी 0.44 angle 63. Okay. Now this is your gamma. Okay. Again, if you would have converted this into polar, that would have been wrong. So now this gamma you will plot on Smith chart. So let's first, so this is the gamma, see 0.44 angle 63. Okay. So now if you have to plot that again in Smith chart, what you will do, use your compass, calculate this magnitude, right? Put 63 degrees, this is 90, put like a D here, you will know what 63 is, and then just mark an arc. That will be your impedance. So either you can go through gamma or you can go through impedance. If you're going through impedance, you will have constant resistance circle, constant admittance circle, and using that you will plot. If you are going through gamma, then you can have R angle theta, and you can calculate R and theta and just put that particular marker on Smith chart. Is that clear? I guess for today, we should end here. I will highly recommend all of you to get a Smith chart. Just watch it, see it, try to do some basic impedance plotting, you know. But for the next class, please everyone bring Smith charts. We will have to practice it. If you don't practice it, you will not learn it, and things will get super complicated. I'm telling you, things will be really, really complicated. So start now so that you don't suffer later. Otherwise, in exam, you will cry, I'm telling you. So please practice it. At least have your Smith charts. There are ample of YouTube videos on this, how to plot on Smith chart. Watch some of them, but I try to explain it in very simple language. And then next time we will continue this, and I will also do some more examples, and we'll take it from there. Okay. Any questions?
सर स्लाइड अपलोड कर दीजिए।
हाँ, मैं स्लाइड अपलोड कर देता हूँ।
ओके सर, थैंक यू सर।
Slide upload. One question. The first slide you had was in the Google Drive, right? I can upload. Okay. Yeah, I will upload it right away. So you guys can read it and see it, and then have Smith chart ready for the next class. Okay. Thank you. Good night, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
थैंक यू सर।